Divorce is rarely, if ever, a comfortable process, especially if you're stuck in a love triangle like Reba McEntire was. The country icon, who was married twice, tied the knot with her first husband, Charlie Battles, in 1976. "I loved Charlie with all my heart. I wanted to marry him. We had a lot of fun," McEntire once told CNN of Battles, who was a decade older than her and already had 2 children from a previous marriage. They ultimately remained together for 11 years before splitting in 1987, with McEntire citing choosing her career over her marriage. However, just 2 years later, McEntire got married again. In 1989, she said "I do" to Narvel Blackstock, a guitarist in her band. In the country star's autobiography, Reba, My Story, the singer detailed how she didn't even speak to Blackstock the first time they met in 1980, primarily because she was still married to Battles at the time. Since McEntire's first marriage went on for the following 7 years after she initially met Blackstock, the 2 men crossed paths and were even friends at one point. "It was a very difficult time for me from a couple of different standpoints," Blackstock said of McEntire and Battles' divorce in Reba, My Story. He added, "It was awkward because Charlie and I had been buddies," referring to the increasing involvement he had in her life. By the time Reba McEntire and Charlie Battles were divorcing, the country star had already decided to cut him out of her career, appointing Narvel Blackstock to help manage it instead. However, amid their new professional collaboration, Blackstock and McEntire caught each other's eye more romantically too. Despite their budding romance, McEntire clarified in her memoir that her feelings for Blackstock did not influence the decision to end her marriage with Battles. "I had to tell Narvel straight out, this is what I wanted to do with my life, for myself. I didn't divorce Charlie because of you," she wrote. Notably, Battles had a growing issue with McEntire's stardom and had reportedly even started to become controlling towards her. According to Reba, My Story, the breaking point in the country icon's lengthy marriage to Battles came when he stole money from her, making the singer finally realize that it was time to call it a day. Meanwhile, Blackstock was also going through a divorce from his first wife around the same time things turned sour between McEntire and Battles. "I was living as an unhappy person," he shared in her autobiography, while McEntire re-emphasized that both marriages had been dying for years. McEntire and Blackstock ultimately split up too. In 1989, Reba McEntire and Narvel Blackstock tied the knot, and less than a year later, they welcomed their first and only child, Shelby Blackstock, who went on to become a race car driver. However, after nearly 3 decades together, McEntire and Blackstock announced their split in 2015. During an appearance on The Drew Barrymore Show, the country star admitted that their relationship had turned into a situation that was always business over the years, elaborating, "I think it works for some people. They can be married or have a relationship and work together. Our work was all the time." Notably, given McEntire's stunning net worth of almost $100 million at the time of writing, it didn't come as a surprise when Blackstock reportedly walked away with almost half of her fortune thanks to their divorce settlement. Although the singer-songwriter didn't want the divorce, she found strength in her faith to move forward, as she shared in a 2016 interview with CMT Radio Live. About 5 years after her split from Narvel, McEntire struck up a relationship with a new man, actor Rex Linn. The two originally met nearly 30 years earlier on the set of The Gambler Returns, the luck of the draw, as McEntire confirmed during a 2021 appearance on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, but they were just friends until the year prior. In a follow-up chat with Cohen in 2024, McEntire confirmed that she would be open to getting married again someday. You know what they say, third time's the charm. Get to know Reba McEntire's sisters, Susie and Alice. Reba McEntire lives an incredibly lavish life these days, benefiting from the success of her career as a country singer, TV personality, actor, and author. The stunningly transformed McEntire hasn't always had a multimillionaire lifestyle, but she did grow up big on an 8,000-acre Oklahoma ranch alongside her 3 siblings, Alice Foran, Paige McEntire, and Susie McEntire Eaton. Even though she's made it big, these familial relationships continue to be super important to her. "We were taught that materialistic things aren't that important. Family is," Reba told Jesus Calling. "All that other stuff can go away in a heartbeat. But you better hang on to the relationship with your family, especially your siblings. The I'm a Survivor singer has raised a family of her own, with her son Shelby Blackstone being a race car driver, but she maintains a positive relationship with each of her siblings. In fact, her bond with her sisters is especially heartwarming. Longtime fans of the country star might remember that her two sisters and their late mother, Jaxcey McEntire, collaborated with Reba on her 2017 gospel album, Sing It Now, Songs of Faith and Hope. The four women sang together on the track, I'll Fly Away, marking their religious roots and deep but lighthearted bond. It was too much fun, Reba told Nash Country Daily via K-Bull. We were just silly as we could be. Reba McEntire's oldest sibling, Alice Foran, has largely lived her life in private outside of her connection to her big-name sister. She previously worked as the county director of the Atoka, Oklahoma Department of Human Services, though it's unclear what her current occupation is. Foran is also a loving wife and mother, having 4 kids, Vince, Garrett, Trevor, and Haley with her husband Robert Foran. In McEntire's 1995 memoir, Reba, My Story, the country star shared some insight into her oldest sister's sibling dynamic. Alice is the rock, she wrote. The one you can call at 3 in the morning, and she'll always be ready to help in any way. Susie McEntire Eaton echoed this sentiment in a podcast interview the three sisters gave with Jesus Calling podcast. Susie, the youngest McEntire sibling, recalled the trouble she was having during her first marriage and the financial helping hand that Alice was quick to lend. I didn't take it, but you were always taking care of us, she said. For some reason, I could go to you before I could go to my mama in many instances. Alice, for her part, takes no issue with the portrait of herself as the reliable big sister. I was always meant to be a mama, she told her sisters, and I practiced on y'all, disciplined you, and took the responsibility. Susie McEntire Eaton is also a singer. Reba isn't the only musical star in her family, as Susie McEntire Eaton is also a noteworthy artist. The youngest of the McEntire siblings is a gospel singer who started her musical journey alongside her sister. When they were teenagers, Reba, Susie, and their brother Paik formed the Singing McEntires and performed together at local Oklahoma spots. Once McEntire Eaton graduated from Oklahoma State University, she joined her then-established country singing sister in her musical endeavors, traveling with Reba on tour and joining her for broadcasted performances. She credits this experience as eventually helping her to break out into her solo gospel career, which she kicked off in 1984, touring the country with her first husband and their children to spread their Christian message. Due to the emotional abuse she faced, McEntire Eaton's first marriage ended in divorce, making her a single mother of 3 before she married Mark Eaton in 2009. In her musical career, she has released over 20 albums, reached #1 on the Positive Country radio charts, and been recognized by the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. McEntire Eaton also became a co-host of RFD's Cowboy Church, channeling her family's ranching roots. Through all of this, her bond with her two sisters has seemingly remained strong. Sisters are good for lots of things, and I really feel sorry for women who don't have a sister, she said during the McEntire's Jesus Calling interview. So I just wanted to say that how much both of you have influenced my life for the better. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel Jaxcey N24. Thank you for watching.